the Literacy and Communication Coordinator for the Niswonger Foundation's Rural Life Grant Initiative. I'm here today with Mrs. Linda Stewart. Linda is one of our Rural Life Literacy coaches.
Hi, my name is Linda Stewart, and I had the pleasure of working with 4 schools this year. I worked with Grassy Fork, Edgemont, and Smoky Mountain in Cott County, and in Sevier County I worked with Pittman Center.
The Niswonger Rural Life's grant purpose is to improve literacy in grades 6 through 8 in Eastern Tennessee using the principles of personalized learning. One method to improve personalized learning opportunities in your classroom is with learning stations. So we hope you're ready to try developing learning stations. I know that seems daunting, but once learning stations are developed and implemented, they really do run themselves. And we are here to help you. We have a team here ready to help you develop stations. Let's talk just for a moment, Linda, about the value that we saw in learning stations and some of the results that we saw in our schools this last year that tried using them.
Choice is an important part of personalized learning, and Pittman Center did a great job implementing choice. Whitney's 6th graders, when they walked into their classroom, they had their Chromebook in hand ready to start their day. They were able to get on Vocabulary or KnowRedInk.com, and they knew exactly what their assignment was, what needed to be worked on, but they had the choice as to how they wanted to learn that skill for the day. Another classroom that I worked in was Brittany Dennis at Smoky Mountain, and we implemented the Hatchet stations. They loved Hatchet and they loved the stations. One of the stations that they used was a Flipgrid station, and in Flipgrid the students are able to video themselves reading a passage from Hatchet, which was of their own choosing. The teacher then was able to see the recording and was able to find out their fluency level and their accuracy in that particular part of the passage. They loved doing it, and the teacher, Brittany, loved getting to see them in action with their reading.
And the Hatchet series that we did, that one ran for a whole week.
Yes, this
with
was a
that
week.
classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But the duration is just really up to you, the classroom teacher. We also developed stations that were just one day in duration. So the amount of time is really flexible. I had the privilege of working with Ashley Turbyfield's 7th grade class at Cloudland High School this spring, and we developed stations for that classroom with an informational text, so not a fictional text. So, and as I was working with those 7th graders, you have to keep in mind their attention span is 13 to 14 minutes. And so one thing that we've noticed with learning stations is that the movement, where they can get up and move from station to station, once a student stands up, they've got the blood flowing, they've got the oxygen going, so boom, you've got them for another 13 to 14 minutes of focused attention. And so just movement, being able to get up and move from station to station was really a positive for learning stations that I saw there. So not only are students empowered with choice, but having a bit of freedom to move around the classroom, their engagement with the content will improve. Some quick bits to keep in mind as you think about developing learning stations is one, you always want to keep rules of operation in mind. We don't want organized chaos, we want them to run smoothly. So spend a little time before you engage stations just setting up the ground rules with your students. Keep it simple. I always had just 3 simple rules for my classroom. One was that you had to finish the work at one station before you moved on to another station. I also insisted they use a 6-inch voice, and I defined that as a voice you couldn't hear 6 inches from their face. And it is individualized work. There's a misconception out there that learning stations are just this jolly old group discussion time. And while group discussion can be one of your stations, students really are working individually to master specific objectives. We also noticed that it was easy to differentiate for student learning with learning centers. You could have more challenging assignments and then a choice for the less challenging assignments. So it was very easy to accommodate students where they are academically. So as we work through the next video, we're going to actually develop a series of learning stations for the text I Am Malala. Several of our schools will be using this book in September and October. So we're going to we have some of the pacing guides from our school system. So we'll work through developing those stations for you. Bye.